The Cheating Death Podcast is a comedy podcast that will contain information, subject matter, language, course material, opinions, values that may not be conducive to any and all listeners. Your discretion in this matter is advised. On today's episode of the Cheating Death Podcast, we get into a couple of examples of early 2000s horror videos, provide you with an all-new top 5, an all-new Annihilation Announcement, a joke of the episode, and more. So, without further ado, grab yourself a nice warm blankie, turn the lights down dim, grab yourself a milkshake or a coffee, put your feet up, and let us tell you how you may cheat death. This is your news anchor, the Cleric of Chaos, and this is your Annihilation Announcement. We take into consideration the value of LED lights and beautiful luminescent displays, but are we aware of how rare the blue LED is? It took years to be able to create the blue LED to the point to where it was almost deemed impossible. Such as in current day life, when you are faced with turmoil, struggle, and strife, and you don't see a way out. Take time, be patient with yourself, learn along the way, and keep fighting with every single ounce of heart, of pure intensity, of resilience, and of determination you have. For it is within this realm that you see that you are capable of everything that you ever thought. The world is yours. This has been your news anchor, the Cleric of Chaos, and this has been your Annihilation Announcement. Willkommen, meine Freunde. Guten Morgen, guten Tage. Eine gute Nacht ist deine Reisende, deine Ausländer, deine Cleric of Chaos. We are glad that you are here because the early 2000s encapsulated your fear. In the early 2000s, there were a lot of different platforms one could acquire their horror content from. More often than not, one would generally go to Newgrounds or stickdeath.com. Or, in the event of those of us that wanted to see more gruesome and horrific material, there was rotten.com for a period of time. However, what this episode is briefly going to touch on are those videos in the early 2000s that created and brought to popularity the jump scare. Who recalls being asked to watch a video of a nice, beautiful car driving down a serene country road, nothing but trees, nothing but wind in your hair, a blue sky, and then, oh my god, what the fuck is that? A jump scare. A gray, disembodied face would pop on the screen and scream at you and just completely blow you away. You had no idea it was coming, and even if you watch it to this day, you're still not prepared for that jump scare. So perfectly executed and flawlessly completed was this particular video. Another example that we take into consideration when we consider YouTube horror or early 2000s horror is any of the claymation or any of the auto-tune horror from the early 2000s, specifically from 2001 to 2003 on Newgrounds.com. There were sequences of videos that were put out by 1 to 2 different creators that focused specifically and solely on what it was like to go insane. How each day ended up becoming nearly identical to the other. How each and every single attempt to maintain a modicum of normalcy was annihilated, destroyed, decimated. These videos, about 8 to 10 in total, made you think about what you were doing on the internet. It was one of the very first times that you would be led to believe that you may have taken a wrong turn down the internet superhighway. Of course, we would be absolutely remiss if we were to not mention one of the most popular, one of the most well-done horror stop-motion animation videos ever done. And that is, of course, There Is Nothing. A short video showing a woman sitting at a table with fire all around her, staring straight into the camera, no blinking, erratic movements, only saying, "There is nothing." Now this, of course, was an absolutely horrifying tale for many to see. There were not many situations to where you could look at this screen and not feel abject horror and terror. Understand, dear listener, that this video alone scared many people into being incapable of sleeping night after night after night. And as we reach the zenith of internet communication, the early 2000s, we understood that every corner we turned down, there was an opportunity for us to become more and more horrified. There was an opportunity for us to become afraid. Regardless of what road we took, regardless of what website we visited, there was always a new abject horror waiting around the corner. What was your favorite early 2000s horror? Email us at thecheatingdeathpodcast@gmail.com. At the top of today's program, we promised you a list of our top 5 favorite cheeses. Coming in at number 5, we have cheddar. Coming in at number 4, we have mozzarella. Coming in at number 3, we have Havarti. Coming in at number 2, we have Gouda. And of course, coming in at number 1, we have provolone. What are your top 5 favorite cheeses? Feel free to email us at thecheatingdeathpodcast@gmail.com. Today's joke has been brought to you by the Cleric of Chaos. Why was Santa arrested for murder? It turns out a bystander finally saw Santa slay. Whether or not it was the early 2000s horror of driving down the road and getting that crazy jump scare flashing across your screen, or whether it was the maze on the TV that had you jumping back into your couch, how we each experienced early 2000s horror differ from person to person. We all have different memories. Some of us view the stop motion as being the most horrifying, mystifying, electrifying content that has ever been reached in early 2000s YouTube. But when we take into consideration our time on the internet between 2000 and 2005, we have a litany of choices. So, why not dive down a rabbit hole of early 2000s YouTube horror and video horror today, and let us know what your favorite is at thecheatingdeathpodcast@gmail.com. The Cheating Death Podcast has been brought to you by Nach Them Leben, CRDVC, Chaos Realm Records, CR Deutschland, Apple, Google, Spotify, and Spreaker Podcasts. If you would like to join our monthly supporters club, it's only $3.99 through Spreaker. If you'd like to make a one-time donation to support the podcast and the host's current situation, you may do so at buymeacoffee.com/Cleric of Chaos. Or if you have a project or an upcoming artistic or business endeavor that you would like to embark on and you want some advice, you may meet with us and book a meeting at linktr.ee/Cleric of Chaos, where you may also acquire a cameo, merch, media, and more. Please visit our friends at the links at the episode description below. Visit our profile page at twitter.com/WeAllCheatDeath and follow them all there. You may email us at thecheatingdeathpodcast@gmail.com or follow us at twitter.com/WeAllCheatDeath or follow the host at twitter.com/Cleric of Chaos. If you or anyone you know is experiencing psychiatric duress, please have them call 1-800-273-8255 or 988 from their mobile phone. If anyone is experiencing domestic violence, please call 1-800-799-7233. And if anyone you know is looking to adopt a playful puppy or a cute kitten, please have them visit their local animal adoption rescue center. Remember, life is arduous. The early 2000s were an absolutely tremendous time to become scared as a kid and as a teenager, but now life is the one that gives us the absolute horrors of the destinations we hope to reach. Remember, life is not unique in any way, shape, or form that has not already been repeated in one way or another. Life is a flat circle, and history teaches us that we must be kind to ourselves. Remember, we're pulling for you. We're all in this together.